Get on the train before it leaves the station. The truth train is coming, gonna run them down, run them down.
Hello there, folks. We're here today, and we're back today. We're talking Daniel Holtzlaw, and today we're talking about the Carla Raines allegations. There's a whole lot of issues here. Now, the thing about the Carla Raines interview is that it's not terribly long, but there is a lot of information in it that is highly useful. There's just a lot of information in it that, number one, corroborates some other thoughts I have about what was really going on at the time regarding another officer. Just a lot of things get affirmed in this interview that I think are going on. You know what I mean? And so it's interesting. So we're going to be talking about the Carla Raines allegations today. Here's what I want to say. Rocky Gregory, you are a piece of shit. Let me tell you, dude. You are. You're an absolute piece of human refuse. Let me tell you. You are a lying sack of crap. You're a lying sack of crap. I just want you to know that. That's what you are. And this interview proves it, folks. This interview proves what a lying sack of crap that Rocky Gregory is. I can't believe somebody thought that this guy needed to move to homicide, where he could do even more damage. Unbelievable. Okay, CPD, man. Don't know what you guys are doing over there, how far you guys got your head up your asses, but Rocky Gregory has no business being a homicide investigator. He doesn't have any business being a sex crime investigator. I would argue that he has no business being an investigator at all. But anyways, moving on from that. You're going to see Rocky caught in lies here. Okay? A couple different lies. He's going to claim that he's going to, let's not say two lies. Let's say one thing he does is he misrepresents in his report that this is like the first time he spoke to Carla Raines, but when you listen to the interview, you can obviously tell that they've spoken before, but there's no mention of that. There's no mention of the fact that Carla Raines denies any allegation, denies anything ever happened, that she had any kind of inappropriate contact with any police officer 7 times before Rocky uses another tactic and kind of, to get her, to let her know that there's this really bad guy, and you guys will hear it in the interview that I'm about to play for you. And then one more thing, folks. One other thing that's gonna knock your socks off, okay? Because once again, we have an accuser who originally starts out talking about a black officer until Rocky Gregory steers her away from that. Again. Alright? So, that's what we're looking at today. I want to say this also, folks. I want to say that I do not blame these women that came forward and accused Daniel. I don't blame them. I have absolutely zero, bad feelings for that toward them. They are who they are. Okay? And 2 detectives came along dangling a piece of bait in front of them, and they took the bait. They're in the situations that their lives were in, that bait was tantalizing. And so these 2 detectives came dangling some pretty attractive bait, and these girls went for it. These ladies went for it. So I do not blame these ladies for being who they are. I blame the 2 detectives because the 2 detectives knew who these ladies were, knew who Daniel was, knew how the accounts were coming in, and were ignoring it anyway, and continuing to dangle this very, very tantalizing bait in front of more people, more women who Daniel had contacted through his work as a police officer. And they just continue to go back and dangle this very attractive bait. So I blame Rocky and Kim and what's his name? Giger, the prosecutor. These are the three that I blame. These are the three that I think all the blame squarely rests upon. Along with Musni and possibly even the head of the OKCPD back then. What was his name? Chitty, however you might say that. But these are the people I feel are responsible. I do not really place any blame on the ladies for taking the bait that was dangled in front of them. So, let's go ahead and get to the Carla Raines interview here, and let's get to some of the dishonesty of Mr. Rocky Gregory.
Detective Gregory, unable to locate accuser Barnes, drives over and interviews 41-year-old Northeast Oklahoma City resident Carla Raines. According to Detective Gregory's official investigative report, which I have published on this episode's homepage at holtzclawtrial.com, quote, on 8/15/14, I met with Carla at her residence in the 1300 block of Northeast 18th. I had been trying to contact Carla through phone calls and by going by her residence leaving my card. Carla contacted me on this date and advised she would speak with me. I advised Carla I had a possible tip that maybe she was the victim of a sexual assault. I was given her name through Lieutenant Musni on the list of possible victims. See supplemental. She advised she would speak with me in person. End quote. Now, I want you to pay very close attention to this next quote. It's literally the second paragraph of Detective Gregory's report. Quote, Carla advised that she was stopped by an officer who made her expose her breasts. He did not touch her inappropriately, but made her expose herself to him. I asked Carla to explain. End quote. Seems simple enough, doesn't it? Detective Gregory makes contact with someone whose name appears on this mysterious list, and what do you know? They're a victim. But it's actually not that simple. To hear or read Detective Gregory's report, it definitely sounds like he simply knocked on the door and the interviewee just came right out and shared how she had been victimized. I'm going to play for you now the actual recording of that interview. Before today, this interview has never been played in its entirety for the public other than at the jury trial. I want you to decide for yourself if Detective Gregory's report is a fair or biased portrayal of his interview with Carla Raines. In particular, when does she get around to claiming she's a victim? How many times does she deny being a victim of any officer? And does it seem like Detective Gregory is leading or coaxing her to say exactly what he wants? Have a listen for yourself.
Knock, knock. Hello?
Just a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
I was trying to put my belt on and get my ID and stuff out.
Oh, you're fine. How you doing, Carla?
I'm doing fine.
I'm Detective
You
Gregory.
have a seat.
All right. Well, I didn't think I was kind of being clear about what I was asking. That's the reason I wanted to meet you face to face.
Yeah, because I ain't, like I said, I cleaned my life up, so I haven't been out on no streets. I haven't had, this is my ID and everything.
Okay, something I want to point out right there, folks, is that you notice Rocky was saying, well, I feel like I wasn't clear in what I was asking you and everything, right? And you hear her respond like, yeah, I wasn't clear, I'm not sure because I haven't been doing any of that and whatever, like she's afraid. So I just want to point that out, like she's, at this point, she doesn't know why Rocky is there, and so she is being guarded, okay? Until she can understand why he's there. She is kind of being a little bit guarded. So I just want to point that out here. And because you'll eventually see that guarded feeling will dissipate. Boom. You'll see. It's very interesting to watch. So here we go. Well, to listen to anyways. Right, here we go.
But I was telling
You're
you that I
fine.
had lost my ID, but this is my current address, this address.
Uh-huh.
But my last ID, see, I was supposed to call and report it. I forgot it because that's what happened to me before. Because I ain't had no warrants or nothing. I didn't want nobody to try to use my name.
Uh-huh.
And end up, and we done got stopped and they taking me to jail for robbing a bank or something.
So you're wanting your ID back? Is that?
No, I lost my ID. I was just
Oh, you lost it.
Yeah, this is a new one and I lost my old one.
It's okay. Okay. Just in the past year, or we could say 2, but I'm going to focus in on mainly like this year, 2014, but let's go back just a year. Okay. Have you ever come to any contact where an officer has been inappropriate?
No.
Have you ever had to expose yourself to them?
No.
Okay.
I haven't really had no. I had, I think, like one contact since this year, and it was just 2. Well, actually, I wasn't driving, and I was in the passenger seat, but so I said I carry my ID and everything.
Okay.
But 'cause I don't be on the streets no more. I don't do drugs and all that kind of stuff. See, I don't.
But you wasn't asked to, if you had any drugs on you, anything like that, and you had to
expose myself. I mean, an officer. Was it this year?
Hi.
Oh, that's my mother.
How you doing? Yes, ma'am. I think I am. Sometimes I pretend to be.
No. I haven't had. How did you get my name anyway on something like this?
Well, this is the deal. We got several victims. Okay, and so we're trying to go back on this guy, and he's a pretty bad guy.
Was he dressing himself as an officer or
You got
prostitution?
stops in Oklahoma.
Do what?
Oklahoma. All these white folks is crazy. No good.
As far as, because I haven't really been on the streets and stuff that much. So, but I mean, I know what you're talking about. I just couldn't really talk in front of her, but I know what you're talking about as far as, but I haven't, what was he, what you mean expose himself as far as like ask for prostitution or?
Not even necessarily for prostitutes, but he tries to, he's having women do different things.
Oh, thinking they gonna go to jail if they do a favor for him, he wouldn't.
There you go.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Within the past year, I really can't really recall.
And how I come across your name is that anybody with like anybody he's been running.
Oh, Rocky, were you dancing there a little bit? Were you afraid to tell Carla Raines that you guys had created a profile of women that were African American prostitutes with drug habits? Were you afraid to come out and tell her that? I think you were, sir. I think you were afraid to come out and tell her that. So that's why you had to. I mean, it's serious, dude. I can hear your wheels spinning right there, dude. Where you're just like, oh, wait, don't want to tell her. Women he's been running. I mean, dude. Seriously, Rocky. Who you think you're fooling, dude? You're a human piece of refuse, dude. Seriously.
Okay. Now we kind of came up with a list.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it's been in the only area.
The problem is,
I've been in this area. See, this is the only one I even got the prostitute. This is the only area that I was in, and I guess like about 3 or 4 months, because I had went to detox when they first started open, because I used to be right down the street. But then from 20th, on down to maybe 17th within this area. That was the area that I was. That's the area, the main area that I was in prostitution in. And I mean, you have some men stop with themselves already exposed, and they'll have you play with them. By they standing over they play with themselves. And it's a couple men that does that. They play with themselves. They already have themselves exposed when they stop you, and then they hand you like $20 through the window, and it's been a couple of men that does that. Yeah.
now are you talking about cops or are you talking
I don't know if they'll be cops or not. Sometimes, I never had a uniform officer.
Okay.
It's only one officer that I know a few years back. He used to, this was before OU was only going to 16th Street and back. He was a black cop. They used to come around here, but But like say if, I mean, he done stopped and got stopped by him, but he didn't question me. But he's just like, I've seen a girl that exposed her breast to him before, you know, but as far as him threatening to arrest somebody or if they,
Okay.
I've never seen that before, but.
Okay. Well, and the short list that we've had, a lot of them, something's happened.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And no one came forward or anything. We had to go to them.
Yeah.
And so that's why.
You know why? Because you know what? It's like this.
All right, remember what I said about her being guarded and that it was going to dissipate? Here it comes. So now, be very, very interested in what she's saying happens here, because this is all going to come down to a routine that is commonly taught to Oklahoma Police Department officers, but is not commonly talked about. And Gregory, Rocky Gregory, is using that here. He is using that because he knows the public doesn't know about it, that only policemen would know about it, and he is twisting these accounts. Okay, he is twisting these women's accounts from doing what is called the clasp and shake. Okay, which is that you'll hear from this interview. Okay, that is a common thing that they teach Oklahoma PD officers, Oklahoma City PD officers. You're going to understand that from this interview. That's one of the things about this interview that it makes so clear, is that one of the things is the fact that this clasp and shake is actually a thing at the Oklahoma City Police Department. And like I said, Rocky Gregory is capitalizing on the fact that the public doesn't know about that. And so he's able to twist these encounters into something sexual because the public doesn't know about the clasp and shake. All right, but here we go. I'll let you guys hear it for yourself.
If they do come forward, a lot of times you gotta know what they got to deal with. What you guys don't see that we have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? They want to say like they want to search you, or they search the car, or something like that, and that could cause you a lot of problems out here. Especially the women that be out here. Even it's like you walking down the street sometime. I even got stopped coming. I used to live right here on 14th and McKellen.
Okay.
I was walking, and this officer in a black car stopped me. And I said, why are you stopping me? He asked me. I said, I live right here on 14th. I was just two blocks from my house. And he was just like, well, we just want to talk to you. I said, well, what you want to talk to me for? And so he searched me. And everything like that. You know how they raise up your bra and all this stuff. He searched me. And I'm like, I'm right around the corner from my house. What do you want from me? And he was like, well, I just want to talk. He had me in the car for like 30, 45 minutes.
Just wanted to point out here real quick, it was actually less than 10 minutes. She says 45, but it was actually less than 10. 10 or slightly less than 10, but 10 minutes is what we're looking at, not 45. So, all right.
Right there on 16.
How long ago?
This was last year. It was summertime, because I remember it had just turned night, and I left my house on 14th. We stayed in between Kellam and Missouri.
But he had you search how? I mean, how did he search you?
Like, you know how they search your pockets? And
I know how
Yeah, no, but you know how they raise your bra, have you raise your shirt up and raise your bra up and shake it out?
Okay. But nothing above. Did he have you lift your bra?
Yeah, you have to raise your shirt up, lift your bra. Yeah, you have to lift your shirt up, lift your bra, shake them out, and make sure ain't nothing, like he say, make sure you ain't got nothing in between, you know, your breast. And I know a man cop ain't supposed to do that. I know a man cop is not, you can empty your pockets, but he is not supposed to touch you. They supposed to call a female officer. That I do know. But there was no female officer called. It was at nighttime. I was by myself. And he stopped me and searched me and everything, and had me to raise my shirt up, do my bra.
Did you have your breasts exposed?
Yeah, you have to. You have to raise your shirt up, take the inside of your bra and raise it up. And so he said, make sure ain't nothing.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I know what you're talking about.
That's the clasp and shake.
No.
Alrighty, so you know what that is, right, folks? That's Rocky Gregory right there, affirming that the clasp and shake is a thing at the Oklahoma City Police Department. That's what he just did right there. He just basically made it absolutely clear that that is a common practice at the Oklahoma City Police Department. That's what he did. You know? And, you know, he's I also think it's funny that he's recognizing it that way. He's listening to her talk, and if you listen to the inflection in his voice, he's speaking in a concerned manner to her, because he's saying, well, you know, that's the clasp and shake. Like, he's worried. He's sitting there thinking, like, your story isn't very convincing because it just sounds like somebody asked you to do the clasp and shake. Doesn't it sound like that's what he's basically sounding like right there? Because that's the way I don't know. That's the way I'm reading him right there. He is like, he's getting very, very disheartened, I think, by what she's saying, because he feels like she was only asked to do a clasp and shake. And as it goes on here, it goes on, and he realizes that she is trying to embellish it. She's trying to say she lifted her shirt up above her breasts or anything. But the fact of the matter is that when he asks her, okay, well, what did Daniel tell you to do? Because he's waiting, he wants a direct instruction from Daniel to her to expose herself. But Daniel never did. Daniel just said, I need to make sure you don't have any drugs, and shows she was supposed to do the clasp and shake, which is normally the clasp and shake does not reveal anything. But for some reason, the way Carla Raines does it, I don't know why, but for some reason, the way she chooses to do it, she chooses to pull her shirt up and just go, woohoo, I guess. I don't know, it's odd. But you can clearly tell that Detective Gregory is looking for her to assign some kind of words from Daniel to her exposing herself. And he quickly comes to the realization that she just did it on her own. That she exposed herself without anybody asking her. She assumes that the cop wants that, but that's an assumption, and that just makes an ass of you and me, right? As they say. So, anyways, yeah, that's where it's at. I mean, this is essentially, she was asked to do a clasp and shake, and she's trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. It's really, really obvious that that's what's going on. So here we go.
It's to raise your shirt up and raise your bra up.
Did he say to do that?
Yeah, he said he needed to check to see if I had anything on. I'm like, where's the female officer? I said, well, I got my ID. Why are you searching me? He's like, well, we just want to talk to you to make sure you're safe. How am I not safe? I'm 2 blocks from my house.
He said we? Was there 2 of them?
No, it was only one. He just said we.
What did he look like?
He was a nice looking man. He was kind of, I could say probably about 5'9", 6 feet, something like that, tall. He wasn't like, I can't really say if he was Caucasian or Mexican, because he's brown skinned and had dark hair. And like I said, he just had me to raise my bra.
Fat? Was he?
He was nice built. He wasn't
built
fat.
like how?
Like he worked out. You could tell that he took care of his body. Yeah, and he just had me to raise my shirt up, raise my bra up, shake like my breast.
He asked you to raise your bra.
Yeah, you have to raise your shirt, like you said, right? Because I know if a female does it, she don't raise your shirt all the way.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he had
to the belly, maybe a clasp, maybe a shake.
I know what you.
And there's Rocky Gregory affirming the clasp and shake for a second time.
Talking about that's not what I did. I raised my shirt.
But why did you? And I'm trying to ask this in the right way.
Right.
Why did you do that?
Because he asked me to. He said to see if I had anything on me.
You guys hear the concern in Rocky's voice? You hear that? Because he's realizing that Daniel actually said nothing to provoke her to do what she did. That's the problem he's running into here. That's why he's asking her, wait, what did he say? He's desperately looking for some kind of verbal command from Daniel, because he's realizing that this is going to be weak as shit if he doesn't get some kind of verbal command from Daniel. And all he's getting, the only thing she's saying that Daniel said is that he needed to check, which generally is basically what means the clasp and shake, and which is what she's describing, but differently for some reason, the way she does it. Unprovoked, without being asked to expose herself, she for some reason likes to expose herself. That's what's going on here. And Rocky is seeing it. He is clearly seeing it. And he's like, but what did he say? But what did he say? You understand. He's like, this is useless to me unless you tell me Daniel told you to expose yourself. That's essential. He's not saying that. That's the subtext to what Rocky is saying right now.
And I'm like, my house is right here. He said, well, where you going? I said, is it against the law for me to walk the neighborhood? I know people over here.
Anything with your pants or anything?
No, he had me to do my pants like this. Like, you know, he touched my pockets and stuff to make sure I had, which I have tight pants on, so you can tell I had it in my pockets. So I had to raise my shirt up, raise my bra up, and shake it out. And he talked to me about 45 minutes, and then he let me go. He said, we just want to make sure you're okay. And I was like, what's wrong? What?
Excuse me, twin, hand me that big Bible off.
So, that's what he had me to do. He just talked to me like different stuff. He didn't ask me about no drugs. He didn't ask me about no houses where they get drugs. And he didn't ask me none of that. He just said that.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to take some notes this time.
Okay.
So, after everything Rocky's heard so far, the clear issues that, well, I've been pointing out, and Rocky decides, oh wait, I need to, okay, let's go through this again, and let me take notes this time. And then, when you find out what actually made it into the actual report, folks, oh brother, oh Jesus, it's a mess. Rocky is not a good investigator. Rocky should not be working homicide. So, well, I'll just leave it at that. He shouldn't be working homicide. So, anyways.
Okay. He just asked me,
How long ago you think that was?
This was last year. It wasn't cold outside. It was kind of.
It was last year.
No, it wasn't chilly. When we stayed over there for 14, it wasn't that cold outside. Because I remember I didn't have no jacket.
Let me make sure I get.
Yeah. But it was right off here, you know where 16th and Fun Shield is? I was on 16th, but it was by Fun Shield.
Okay.
And
so it was
he was in a black
16th?
police car. On 16th Street by Fun Shield. He was in a black car and a black police car.
All black.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one with the police on the side?
With sheriff or whatever the blue writing is on the side. And he stopped me. And
At what time you think it was?
it was like about 9, 10. It was dark. It was about 10, something like that. And
You was walking alone.
I was by myself. He just want to make sure.
But you was
that
on 16th or you were on
I
Font
was
Shield?
on 16th by Font Shield. I just passed like a couple of feet past Font Shield. I was on the north side of the street. I remember that.
Okay. So talk me through it. I know you kind of ran down through it, but I want to.
Yeah. Okay. So he stopped. First he went back, then he came back around and he stopped me. And I said, is there a problem, officer? He said, no. He said, I said, well, what you stopped me for? He's like, where you going? He said, where you coming from? I said, home. He said, where you living? I said, on 14th Street. And he was like, well, where you going to? I said, I'm just going to visit, just going to hang out. I said, is it a problem with that? He's like, no. So he asked me, did I have anything on me? I said, no, in which I had on some pants kind of like this.
Okay, so you had on like shorts, like jean shorts?
Yeah, and he had me to, he touched my pockets, like my behind and my front pockets. And then I had to raise my shirt
He
up.
touched it, or you touched it?
No, he did.
Is this before did you ever sit in the backseat of the car?
Yeah, before I got in the backseat of the car.
Okay, this is before.
Yeah, he had me in the backseat. After I did all of this.
Okay, so before you sat down, he does this. Okay.
Right.
So anything on you, you say no. Okay.
And touch my pockets or whatever. I was like, I said my pants are too tight for you to even if it was anything on me. And so I had to.
Your front, did he do the back of his hand or just the front?
It was just like this.
So it's like pat search.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you had to raise my shirt up. I had to raise my shirt up.
Now this is the part that I want to make sure that I understand. Okay. So his next thing is, did he ask if you had anything in your shirt?
Yeah, he's just like, you got anything on? He's like, anything in your under top? I was like, nope. So I had to raise my shirt. He had to raise my shirt up, and I had to
say exactly how he said it.
Okay, I just want to point this out again. You all are seeing or hearing how desperate Rocky is to get her to assign some verbal command of Daniel's to her raising her shirt the way she did. Okay, he is desperately trying. I just want to point it out. He is not desperately trying without reason, folks. There is a reason why he is desperately trying to get her to assign some command from Daniel to it. Unfortunately, he's not getting it. him wanting to check her or make sure or whatever, that just means a clasp and shake. Rocky knows that, and he knows that he needs something more here. I just want to point it out because it's so freaking obvious. But just in case, I want to make sure everybody understands that.
He was just like, anything else on, top part? And I was like, no. And so he was just like, well, I had to check you. And, I thought it was kind of funny. I'm like, only a female officer ain't supposed to touch a female.
Okay, so he says, I have to check you. So what
So I did the raising up. I had to raise up my shirt, and I had to take my bra, raise up my shirt.
Hang on.
I raised my shirt up right
Sorry,
here.
that's
Yeah.
okay. So you raise your shirt
Right here.
to
Right here.
just above the breast.
Right above my breast. And I had to take my bra, because my breast
now
fell out.
Tell me exactly what he's saying through this.
No, he was just looking at me.
So he doesn't, he just says, I have to check you.
Yeah.
So then you raise your shirt.
I raised my shirt up right here, and I raised my bra up. And I had to shake it out.
Now, before you said, he said something. I want to know what he told you to do.
He just, to make sure I didn't have anything up here. That's what he said.
He just wanted to see if I had anything up here. That's what he said. Her words, folks. Her words. And that's what she said Daniel said, and that is not, was not, and will never be a command to expose yourself. You know what I mean? To expose yourself, I should say. So that never will be. Never was, never will be. All right, moving forward.
So I raised my shirt. He didn't touch me. I had to raise my shirt up.
But he asked you to raise your shirt?
Yeah, he said he needed to make sure that I didn't have anything up here.
Okay.
In my bra.
So you raise your shirt.
Raise my shirt
What's
up
the
right
next
here.
thing he asked?
Nothing. So I had to raise my shirt up right here because I know the routine. So I just raised my shirt up right here, and which I found kind of funny because he said, I had to do it. So I raised my shirt up and I took my bra. My breast came out. I said, see, I don't have anything. And, I kind of flicked my bra like this, and then I put my breast back in my bra and rose my shirt up. And so he put me in the back seat.
Okay, hang on. See, I don't have nothing. Okay. And maybe I misunderstood you before. I thought he asked you
He asked
to
me
lift
if I
your
had
shirt.
anything up here.
Right. Okay, he
So
asked
to me, I take it as, he was like, well, do you have any? Because my pocket's like this, and he asked me if I had anything up here. I said, no, I don't have anything on me.
So he didn't tell you to pull your bra up. You just did it.
It was more or less like a motion to where I'm trying to hurry to get away from him. So, because like I said, I'm in the neighborhood. Somebody see you in the neighborhood, that's not good. Or they see a police, stop you or whatever. Because everybody saying if you talk to the police, you're a snitch. So therefore, I said, see, look, I don't have anything on me.
Okay. So
he said he had to make sure.
Okay.
This is what he told me. He said, I need to make sure.
I
So
need to
said,
check
okay.
you. Need to make sure. So then that's when you lift your shirt.
Shirt up right here, and then I took my bra and I did it like this,
Okay.
and my breast.
So he
came
didn't
out.
ask you to take your bra.
He just said he needed to make sure.
Okay.
He needed to make sure.
Okay. And then you put everything up.
And he had a conversation with me, like he read my name. He had me in the back of the police car, and he read my name. I said, I don't have no warrants, I don't have no tickets, or anything like that. I said, and he's like, well, he needed to make sure that, and I was like, what's the purpose of you stopping me? He's like, well, we just going around stopping girls and stopping people. He said, girls and people in the neighborhood to make sure that they okay. I said, well, why are you doing that? I mean, I didn't understand that. So that's what he said, to make sure that people are okay. And so when I walked, matter of fact, I turned down I turned down, because when he did that, I backtracked and went down Prospect, and I came up 17th Street. When I got to the corner of 17th, I saw somebody that I knew, and I was talking to him, and he came back around and told the man that if he didn't go, because police lights had blinded him, and he said if he didn't go, I told him, I said, go ahead and give me a ride over here and drop me off on 16th. So he said, okay, and he said, and the police, and the same cop, he pulled up, and he had his lights on him, and he's like, if you don't go, I'm going to take you to jail. That's what he told the man. But the man, the reason why he didn't go right away, because when he pulled up, his lights blinded him through his mirrors. And so that's when he said that. So the guy, he got upset because he was like, why are you flashing his, but he didn't say anything. So the guy just went in, the police just went on. He just went on around him and kept on going.
So after running in everything, he just lets you go?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Besides the whole pants check, did he touch you at any other time?
No, I just exposed my breasts.
You ever dealt with him before?
No, but I've never even seen him again.
You said he's about how tall?
He was like he was about 6 feet, something like that. I can't say whether he's white or mixed because I know he had brown skin and he was nice looking. He looked
You
like
said white and brown?
He was like light brown skin, like a Mexican, kind of like a tan kind of, like his skin was tan.
Okay.
And he had black hair, and it was neatly done, and you can tell that he worked out. You can tell that.
What do you think he'd weigh?
Probably like 210, something like that. 210, I don't know, somewhere in the like that, because he was tall. And that was the last time.
Any scars, marks, tattoos?
I didn't notice none of that because it was kind of dark. And
Did
he
you
had me
catch
in the
his
back
name
seat.
or anything?
He had me in the back seat. He had me down like about 30, 45 minutes. And he was just running my name.
He ever tell you to put your shirt back down or anything? Or you just
No, I
did
just
it?
did it on my own.
Did you take it like you had to lift your
Yes,
bra?
I did. That's the only reason why I did it. Yes.
Why did...
Because he was like, he
Articulate
needed
that
to
to me.
check. He needed to check to make sure I didn't have anything on me. And I'm like, so I don't have nothing on me. And I was like, see, and I did like that. And so he was kind of like standing there. So because I kind of raised my shirt up, and he was just like looking at me. So I just went ahead. See, I don't have any, and I exposed my breast, and I said, see, I don't have anything on me.
So you lifted the
Lifted
shirt.
my shirt
What's
up.
this did he say something in between the shirt and the pulling the bra?
He was just looking. He just looked. That's all.
Did he have a flashlight on you or anything like that? Where was you standing when all this?
I was standing on the north side of the street, because I had just...
As far as where the car was.
Right beside the car. He was like standing, we was towards the back of the car. And it was kind of dark on that street. And because it's like where the Good Time House, but it closed like, when the sun started going down, it closed. So I had walked past there, and I had crossed the street on 16th, and I was walking on 16th, and I a few feet past Fun Shield. And then I had crossed the street, I was on the north side of the street, that's when he pulled up. Because he went around, first he passed me up, and then he came back around where his car was facing west.
So because he was saying, he needed to check you, and did he ever motion to pull your bra?
Not really, but he was looking at my shirt, like looking toward my top area, because he was like, I just need to make sure there's nothing on you. I mean, he repeated that twice. So that's when I raised my shirt up and said, see, I told you I don't have nothing on me. He repeated it twice. He said it twice. So that's when I raised my shirt up.
Let me ask you this. All your stops, any cops, have you ever pulled your breast out like that before?
Not even with the female cop. The female cop always just take it and do it like this.
Why this time?
I don't know. I was by myself. I don't know. I was by myself. And it was, like I say, it wasn't that many. That Good Time House was closed. It wasn't that much traffic. And I had just left my house.
And I know this is kind of, I've got like a record, okay, but I don't have like every time you stop. So I just kind of a guesstimate. How many times do you think you've been stopped, searched like that?
Once right there. And like one time, it was during the daytime.
I'm saying how many times, not even searched like that. How many times do you think you've been searched
like
where you've never had to do anything like that before?
That's the only time I ever had to do anything.
But
like
out of
that.
how many stops, you think?
Anybody else struggling with this like I am? Right? Okay, she's now saying that it never happened on any other stop, and she doesn't know what happened on this one. Well, we don't know either. Why the hell were you pulling your shirt up on this one? If you didn't do it on any others? You know what I mean? This is just weird. She's like, it's like somehow we're supposed to get this thing like it was some kind of wink and a nod from Daniel. Well, asking a woman to expose herself is not really a wink and a nod situation. he would need to command it. Right? I mean, yeah, anyways, okay. So, I don't know, I'm just struggling with that bit, because she's sitting there trying to say that it only happened this one time, but we can't even explain why she did it this time. I mean, it's inexplicable as to why she was exposing herself, because Daniel wasn't specifically asking for that. And even she admits it. So it makes this whole account even that much more bizarre.
That I've had to search like that,
Not like that, but I'm just saying appropriately.
Appropriately, I got stopped once from going down the street over there on 23rd, and they was looking for drugs because he immediately detained me, but it wasn't no drugs or anything in the car. And then one time it was two females, they stopped me, which I was coming from the neighborhood. I was leaving from the neighborhood. I was walking up Everest because I just had my jacket at somebody's house. It was kind of cold outside, so before it got nighttime, I had stopped. I knew where I left my jacket, so I went and got my jacket and left. I went there like 3 minutes. They don't stay there no more. It was on 20th Street in Everest. I mean, what's that street? Not Everest. The next street from Everest. But when I came back up 20th Street and walking up Everest, but I was by 17th, but they didn't. She just kind of like did like this. It was a female officer, two females.
Okay.
She just did like this.
How old do you think this guy was?
I'm 44. He looked like
The
he
one
was
over here.
over here. He looked like he was probably late 30s, something like that. But like I said, he looked like he take care of himself. So you really can guess his age, and you can be wrong that he's younger. But then again, his age, he looked like one of the type where his age, he could been older, but you can guess that he was young because he looked like he take care of himself.
Any other time you can think of?
That was the only time.
Nothing further.
That was the only time.
Okay.
And I've never seen that cop again, ever. It's usually they have the same cops coming through the neighborhood to be familiarized who's doing what.
Right.
But I've never seen that police officer again.
I'm trying to look for some other girls. Same type of deal. I don't. They're not in trouble. You know what, Pamela Nash?
I know Pam, but I don't know where she's at.
Yeah.
Cause see, I don't hang out no more like I used to. So it's kind of like since they got rid of all that stuff down that way, I don't hang out no more. I haven't seen Pam. I seen one time. That's within the last few months though. I only seen her once, but I don't know where she's.
Have you ever heard of any other girls?
But I don't talk to nobody that I used to.
You've never. Okay. This you said about a year ago. You said it was warm out.
No, it was kind of. I had it was nighttime. I think I had like a little bitty jacket on. I had on something. I know I had on a shirt, and he was just like, and I took everything out, which I just had my ID because I always carry my ID in my back pocket if I don't have my purse. And like I said, he just had me. I just, he was like, well, I just need to make sure. So that I took it as.
But he said it twice.
Yeah, so for me to raise up my shirt and everything. Okay. So it was just.
But you think it's been in the last year?
Yeah, because it was my mama was staying over there and she just moved over here.
Okay. You think you can narrow down the time period?
It was like. Was it around my birthday? No, it was like the September, October or something like that. Somewhere in like that. It was just kind of chilly, but it wasn't cold out. But me, I have low iron, so it'd be cold to me. But that's the only time. I've never seen that cop again. And I usually see the same ones that circle around the neighborhood that used to come through here, come down through there. You see the same ones. But I've never seen that police officer again. I've never seen that again.
Okay.
That's the only time.
Okay, I think that covers. I just didn't think I was being clear on the phone when we
You
talked.
was being quite clear, but like I said, that's the only time that I had that happen to me when I was on the south side. And we couldn't say that I was prosecuting because I wasn't. I was at the gas station.
On the
yeah,
deal.
and he exposed himself to me. That was a black officer. I guess they was doing some type of sting or whatever.
Sting, yeah, advice.
Yeah.
Did she just mention a black officer exposing himself? Did she just mention a black officer again? What's even more mind-blowing than that? Did Rocky just come in and act like it was a normal thing by saying it was a vice sting? So there's situations at the Oklahoma City Police Department where it's okay for officers to expose themselves to women? Please. Somebody from the Oklahoma City Police Department, help me understand that better if I am misunderstanding it, but I have a feeling I'm not. But anyways, yeah.
And he exposed himself to me. Well, like I said, sometimes be like we're riding around the yard, but he be undressed, and they'll stop like I'm, I have some real bad to say to me and do like that. That's nasty. Why would you be riding around like that? And this one guy, like I said, this one white guy, he did that. And one guy, he just said, I just want you to stand here. I said, okay. He gave me $20. Hey, I ain't gonna turn down no money, but he didn't touch me. He didn't get out of his car. I didn't get in his car. But that, like I said, that was the only time that happened to me. I've never seen that police officer again, and I've been in this neighborhood for a few years that I would know if I seen him again. But I've never seen that man again.
Okay. Well.
I hope I helped you, but like I said, that's
you did.
Time.
You did. You'll probably see something a little later on. Pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm on my way downtown. I gotta go see they hiring at the fair.
Hey, what's a phone number?
My mother's number.
Which is 855? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for meeting with me. I do appreciate it. And yes, you were a big help.
Okay.
All right.
That's a shame they're taking advantage of people like that.
Very much.
Yeah, he was just like, I need to make sure no. So I just, like I said, I had to raise. I feel like that's what he was telling me because
because then you have to get appointments, you got to go downtown.
No, what happened is if you complain about them or write them up and you be on these streets by yourself, that's where the problem comes. Yes, the thing is they can cause problems for you as far as, well, I can let such and such, I know where such and such is that got this house or something. I can put the word out on you that you're doing this, because they can have the neighborhood, the people in the neighborhood that got them houses, they can have them do something to you by them putting the word out on you. That's the kind of stuff that they do. That I do know.
Who's
like say for instance, like that incident. If I report this man with the kind of stuff that the officers will do, they allow the deal. You know how it goes in the neighborhood with the dealers or the ones that you use that's hanging out on the streets.
Just for clarification, this is where the recording just suddenly cuts off.
Oh, and once Carla Raines starts talking about how she knows that OKC PD officers are known to put the word out in the neighborhoods that these people live in, and that's why they live in fear basically of officers. That's what she's basically saying of how the people view the officers there. And what do you know? He can't get the recording shut off quick enough. Jesus. Yeah. Interesting. So, anyways, all right, let's go ahead and listen to the rest of it.
I'm going to break down Carla Raines' allegations and any evidence that does or does not support them in the next episode. But beyond that, I think this recorded interview is absolutely critical and has implications with so many of the other encounters with alleged victims and the resulting criminal allegations. Carla Raines is so caught off guard by Detective Gregory, I truly don't think she realizes how honest I personally believe she is being, and how, in my opinion, she clears up so much of what is actually going on the streets of Northeast Oklahoma City. Did you catch that Detective Rocky Gregory interjected the term, quote, clasp and shake? And that accuser Raines knew exactly what he was talking about and indicates it's something officers do routinely. Is Detective Gregory and the prosecution utilizing a well-known and accepted yet humiliating police procedure as a noose around Officer Holtzclaw's neck?
Alrighty, so that's going to wrap up part one of the Carla Raines allegations. I hope you guys have seen quite a bit from Rocky Gregory here today to know that Rocky is not a good investigator. Rocky is a terrible investigator. It's absolutely, you can see in this interview exactly how his wheels are spinning, and justice and truth is not what he's after. And that's pretty clear from watching this one. He keeps on fishing. He keeps fishing for Carla Raines to say that Daniel gave her some kind of a command to expose herself. You know, he's desperate for it, but he doesn't get it. You know, there's a lot of things going on in this interview that are very, very troubling. So, I will be back with part 2, where we will get into more of the analysis of it. But I think hopefully I've pointed out a few things here today that have got people thinking. Because look at how many times she denies anything happened prior to eventually, buckling kind of and trying to give Rocky what he wants. But even then, she's not really doing a very good job of it. She's essentially just trying to make a mountain out of a molehill by trying to turn a clasp and shake into something more. That's really what's going on here. So, like I said before, folks, it's not these ladies that I'm mad at. It's not these ladies that I'm pissed off at. It's the detectives and the police department that were out there dangling this very, very, very appealing bait in front of these ladies. And it's them. They knew that they could dangle that bait and that these women would go for it. And they knew that as they were listening to these stories, that these stories were having serious issues. Problems. I mean, you can tell with the obvious problem here. Rocky Gregory kept fishing for her to say that Daniel gave her some specific command to expose herself. And in that fishing and in that searching, you can see that this is an investigation where the investigators are only concerned in their own confirmation bias. It is freaking obvious that is all they care about. And it gets worse in the next episode, folks. I know, it's hard to imagine, right? There's something about this that I haven't told you today. There's more. There's more. Trust me, there's more. And we are going to catch Rocky Gregory in dead to rights in a lie next episode. And he can't wiggle out of it. So, as I said before, Rocky Gregory, you are a piece of human refuse, my friend. So, that's your lot in life, buddy. See you later. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see ya.